is a privilege. It's the greatest job in the world. You get to go out and play a game. And if you can't care enough, even in week 17, even when you're trash, when you're 4-11, if you can't care enough to go out there and give everything you've got and try your hardest, that's bull.
And that is NFL star J.J. Watt blasting some of his Houston Texan teammates in public.
If you can't go out there and you can't work out, you can't show up on time, you can't practice, you can't want to go out there and win, you shouldn't be here. There are people every week that still tweet you, that still come up to you and say, hey, we're still rooting for you. We're still behind you. They have no reason whatsoever to. We stink. But they care, and they still want to win, and they still want you to be great.
J.J. Watt's post-game diatribe underscores one of the fiercest and most long-running debates in all of sports, the idea that you shouldn't be publicly criticizing a teammate. But this debate actually transcends sports, and in my view, in society right now, we need more public humiliation, more public accountability, more lighting a fire under our colleagues and teammates, not less. Hello everybody, I'm David Shuster and thanks for watching. In Major League Sports locker rooms, there has long been this understanding, passed along by coaches and general managers and owners to the players, that you should not criticize a fellow player in front of the microphones, in front of the press, in front of the fans. That if you've got a beef with somebody, you take it to the locker room or a conference room or off the field and you say, look, here's the issue that I have and here's why I'm upset. The theory is that this preserves team unity, the integrity of the team, the idea that the team is in it together and not a bunch of individuals. And the idea is also that this improves productivity, the chances that you're going to win. I get it. Locker rooms, an office, a newsroom unity is important. And once it's lost, it's awfully hard to get back. But as J.J. Watt points out, the Houston Texans already stink. If I was his coach or a fellow teammate who still at the end was giving 110%, his words would be music to my ears. You need to light a fire under the people who are not performing. There's a reason that the Texans are having such a miserable season. And for J.J. Watt to come out and say, look, here are the issues. We have some players who are not giving their all. Of course that needs to be said. I'm sure it's gotten so bad that it's been said privately and it hasn't worked. So of course it should go publicly. And oh, by the way, let's broaden things out a little bit. There's still some issues that society at large has been working on for a long time that still stink. Let's take the issue of racism, for example. Black Lives Matter. The idea that you are more likely, if you're an African American, to get pulled over by police. You're also more likely to be killed by a police officer if you're African American. We have been working on this issue as a society for a long time, and it hasn't worked. And now, only the last couple of years, okay, people are saying enough is enough or speaking out. And who's been speaking out? J.J. Watt. He was an early supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement at a time when the National Football League was under tremendous pressure to not take a knee in solidarity. After a fan encouraged Watt to stand during the national anthem, he fired back on Twitter, A, don't speak for me. B, if you still think it's about disrespecting the flag or our military, you clearly haven't been listening. Now, people who want things confined to a locker room or an office conference room or don't want anything aired out in public say that if you do go public, you are engaged in self-righteousness, in selfishness. Selfishness? Again, J.J. Watt is one of the most charitable football players in the National Football League. After a hurricane damaged parts of Houston, it was J.J. Watt who started a fundraiser and led it so that it would raise more than $37 million to help that city. Watt is known as much for his visits to children's hospitals as he is for his on-field sacks. The example is there for all of us. Do good, help others, and yes, speak out. So much of our society, so many institutions seem broken right now, things that we've tried to fix and we can't seem to fix. This is the time for public accountability, for going public and saying, hey, this is broken. We need all to be doing more. Americans can handle this. Whether it's sports or schools or businesses or institutions, we need more J.J. Watts, not less.